Hi, and welcome to Screens in Focus, the podcast where we talk about TV and movies. I'm Diana, and today we are talking about Nicole Kidman and Hollywood's May-December romance trend. Jen is here to join me. Hi, Jen. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm so excited to be back. My favorite topics of TV and movies.
I know there are so many. We talked about it, and we're like, oh, let's do this. So I'm so excited that you're here. And we've seen Nicole Kidman everywhere. And she has done several like May, December romance movies. So, our question of the day that I'm going to pose to you and our friends out there is, what is your favorite Nicole Kidman movie? All right. So, I want you to think about it, Jen, and we're going to answer that later on. But our friends out there, we would love to hear from you. You can leave a comment here on YouTube, social media. You can even call us. And all those links are in our show notes because we want to know what your favorite Nicole Kidman movie is. All right. So we're going to talk about May, December romance movies, which very interesting. There was a couple of people who didn't know what that was, May, December romance. So that's when there's an age gap in a relationship, romantic relationship. So there's so many of those. And of course, like I said, Nicole Kidman. So, and then we're also going to give our TV and movie recommendations at the end. So be sure to stay for that. All right. So I would like to know, Jen, in this May, December romance trend that we're seeing, what movie tops your list or stands out for you?
Yeah, it's funny. So I was thinking back. First of all, the ones that stand out are just the recent ones, which, there's this Nicole Kidman one. But then the recent one with Anne Hathaway, The Idea of You,
Yeah.
I really liked. But then I was thinking about older ones and I remember how Stella got her groove back,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then there were ones where I feel like it's so much more common for it to be the older male and younger
Yeah.
female.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to keep it in the like older female, but remember the movie Autumn in New York? It was
No.
so sad. Oh my God. Autumn in New York was Richard Gere and Winona Ryder. So good, so tragically sad. So, if you're
Wow.
not ready to cry, don't watch it. But
Love crying.
that was such a good one. And then there was a movie that Steve Martin made called Shop Girl that was originally a book. And I had read the book and then, they made the movie. But, Shop Girl and Autumn in New York were, the older man, younger woman thing, which feels trite compared to like the recent ones with Nicole Kidman and
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you think of The Idea of You? Like, what were your thoughts on it?
I loved it. I bought it. Like I was in it. And maybe it's because I feel like I'm in that same age bracket as she is now. But, and I know we'll get to this with Nicole Kidman's recent one, but like The Idea of You, I was rooting for them. I was rooting for her. Like, I loved it. I enjoyed it. And I remember actually like the next day after I watched it, I went to a Soul Cycle class or later that week, I went to a Soul Cycle
Right.
class and the teacher was like this young boy, right? Like I can't even he
Ah.
was probably like 22, 23, like teaching this class. And I remember leaving and I was like, well, maybe I found my idea of you guy if this is ever going to be real.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. I love it. I love it. Yes, that was a good movie. Anne Hathaway was so good in it. I love her as an actress. I really do. I really like what she does. So I was excited to see this and I did enjoy it. So I want to bring up, because I know we're going to talk about Nicole Kidman in a little while, but
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up a movie that I saw. I think it's been a year and a half now, but it was called Good Luck to You, Leo Grand.
That.
So it's a 2022 sex comedy drama, and it is with Emma Thompson. She is amazing in this with Daryl McCormick.
Wait, maybe I
And
did see this.
where it's all set in the room because her husband recently died, and I believe, I might be saying this incorrectly, but I believe she was never had an orgasm her whole like marriage or something like that. And so she wanted to be with somebody. And so she develops like this relationship with this sex worker who she begins to have repeated, times with, that he comes to her. I think it goes through the months or something. It was so good. It was really good. I would recommend it to
Okay,
anybody.
now
Does
I
that
can't
ring a
remember if
bell?
I saw this or not. I'm gonna pieces of it ring a bell, so I'm like, maybe
Yeah.
I did see it, but I'm adding this to my list. I'm going back to
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. I thought she did such a great job in that. And she is a woman who is like a regular woman, right? I just thought it was so courageous of her to do this movie. I mean, they don't show anything that graphic or anything, but I mean, you see her body. And so it's a great film. So I think it's just I wish more people would watch it, and hopefully people will watch it now that I'm bringing it up. But so that was a good one. And then you had reminded me of the one with Stella Got Her Groove Back, which is a great
Yeah.
movie. And then Something's Got to Give with Diane Keaton, Jack Nicholson, and Keanu Reeves as the younger man for her at
Which
that
I have to
time.
tell you, I totally forget that Keanu Reeves is even in this movie. Like when I think of Something's Gotta Give, all I think of is Diane Keaton, Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
So
Well,
funny.
there's
Yeah.
amazing and they're the leads, but no, he comes in as this good looking doctor and you're like, oh my God. I remember thinking, I kind of wanted her to be with Keanu, but at the same time, it was cute the relationship that her and Jack Nicholson had. So, and of course,
Yeah.
he has the relationship also with a younger woman. So,
Oh,
because that's
that's
what he does.
right.
Yeah,
Yes.
Amanda Pete.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so let's talk about Nicole Kidman. She is like, to me, she's kind of the queen right now because she has so many of
I was going to
these.
say she's everywhere right now.
Yes.
I feel
But
like
she's
every time I
also,
turn around, she's in something.
she is. She totally
Yeah.
is. And I think may have mentioned to you that in the Emmys, they joked about it. I think it was Steve Martin. He said, oh, if I see someone who looks familiar and I'm not really sure what they're in, they're like, oh, yeah, you were in that movie with Nicole Kidman. He says, I'm about to get it right because everybody's Nicole Kidman is everywhere. So I thought the fact that the Emmys is joking about it just goes to show you how many TV and movies she's making right now. So she's in
Exactly.
everything. But she's also made several of those May December romance type of movies. So let's talk about some of the ones that she's been in, and primarily we're going to start off with
Yeah.
A Family Affair.
So I'm hesitating to say this because it might be an unpopular opinion, but like I found it cringy. I just, I don't know if it was the writing or the acting, but like I didn't buy it. I wasn't rooting for them. I thought it was weird. It felt, I know, and they've even done a movie together before like this,
Yes, yes.
but it was like, it felt awkward. And I don't know. Ugh, I wish I wanted to like it. But also maybe because it came out so close to
Idea of you.
whatchamacallit,
The idea of
Idea of
you.
You, that
Yeah.
like, I thought that was so much better than this one.
So, oh gosh, it's other people have felt that way. So you're not the only one who feels that way,
Okay.
just so you know. Because I've seen comments where people said, "Oh, cringe, cringy." I don't know why they're saying that. They just say that, so I'm not really sure if they're talking, like you said, is it the story? Is it the acting? Is it them kissing? Is it that Nicole Kidman
But the
is
thing
older?
is that, but we see that in other places and it's not as cringy as this.
Yeah. So I actually rewatched it last night because I knew that we were going to talk about it. I kind of spot watched it.
Yeah.
But as I was watching it, I was entertained. I liked it. But I'm going to say the things that I took away from it was they've known each other. They've been friends with each other because they did do another movie together, and they were happy to be in this together. But and I think I can, this may be what picked up for you. It really wasn't the acting between them. It was the intimate portions between them. Like when they would kiss, I don't know if I was buying it either. I don't know. I've seen her in so many other roles where it looks like she is like in it, enjoying it, whatever it
Right.
might be. And this one, I felt like they were doing it because it was in the script to do it. So is that them? Is that the way it was filmed? The cinematography, the director, or was it them and their chemistry? I'm not really sure. So that's sort of what I noticed. But when they're talking to each other, that seemed fine to me. Like I was buying that. I got that. To me, the daughter was driving me crazy. I just want
Well,
to bring that
so
up.
I have no. I have a lot of mixed feelings on the
I
way the
know.
daughter was handled.
Yes.
And maybe that's part of why I wasn't rooting for this romance. Because I've been in that situation where you're in a work environment that is totally toxic and other people around
Mm.
you are like, "What are you complaining about?" And it feels very invalidating and like your experience doesn't matter. And
Mm. Yeah.
so
No.
I think what was missing from this is the reality of the conversation between the mom and the daughter to say, what if the person that you experience as a boss is that way because? Or what if my experience of him is different because? And maybe he's this way because, right? Like there was no conversation that actually gave credence to the fact that, like, he was a brutal human to her daughter and she just
Yeah.
didn't care, wanted to get her rocks off. And so maybe that's why, like, I couldn't get on board with it. I don't know.
I love it, Jen. No, this is a great perspective, right? Because it's a perspective from the daughter and that toxic relationship. So I wasn't coming in from that, but that
Yeah.
totally makes sense. And I can see that. It was the one spot check that I was doing was her when after the first encounter happens and the daughter and the mother Nicole Kidman they're talking not right after but shortly thereafter, and I think I was seeing it from Nicole Kidman's point of view of that I haven't been with a man since your father, or basically I haven't felt like, I don't know if she hadn't been with anybody, but
Mhm.
it seemed like it. And that that her daughter was just saying, no, you can't do it. You think about me, 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 me. She kept saying, think about me. And I'm like, why is it always the child that gets to voice what they want and the parent doesn't? The parent is usually always sacrificing for the child. And I know that's the way it is and that's what we do as
Well,
parents,
but I just
but
think, but
yeah,
again, to me, like, that's what's missing in the script. Like, being able to communicate and, like, have a conversation of,
yeah,
like, I get what this is for you, right? If this weren't your boss, would it be
yes,
different?
yeah, totally. It totally would have been different. Exactly. You're
And,
right.
you know,
But they're in the situation, so then they have to figure it
right.
out, which they do.
Which is why I
So,
sort of feel like my issue is the script.
yeah,
I don't know.
probably because the performances were
Right.
good. I did enjoy the relationship that Nicole Kidman had with her mother in law, which was
Yes.
unusual because it was her mother in law, which was Kathy Bates. And
Who
so
doesn't
that
love
was
Kathy
nice.
Bates? I
I
mean,
know.
anything she's in.
Yes. She's so
So,
amazing. And I heard that she's retiring.
like
Yeah.
Barbara Streisand, Elton John kind of retiring, where
I
they don't
don't
really
know.
retire, or like real
Daniel
retiring.
Day Lewis, because Daniel
Yeah.
Day Lewis retired. Now he's coming back because his son. I'm like, how does Daniel Day Lewis retire? But he did. And now his son is in something, so he's coming back. All right. Well, that's a different story.
I know. Tangent, tangent.
Okay. So there's that movie. So look, we've given you our opinions on that movie, so you can go check it out. And I'm not saying it's the greatest movie. I just say I could watch it. Like it was, and I watched it again, and I was watching it. It wasn't like I was bored. So I found it to
Yeah, no,
be
I was
fine.
entertained.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to look at that in
Yeah.
this genre,
Yeah.
there are others I like more.
Oh, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
100%. But like I had mentioned, Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman had been in a movie together before, and that was Paperboy. And I absolutely loved that movie. And it isn't really a May, December type movie. It's a totally different movie, but they do have a relationship in this. And I felt their passion in this one, mind you, and it was 10 years ago. But again, Nicole Kidman was playing a totally different character. It was a serious movie. I mean, Matthew McConaughey was in this movie. John Cusack was in this. I believe it was, oh, what is his name? Aiello. Is it David? I'm sorry.
Oh, Oyelowo. David Oyelowo.
David Oyelowo.
The
So,
British guy, right?
yes, he's
Yeah.
really good. Anyway, this movie, it's really good. Much better. So if you're going to choose one, go watch that one. It's not a romance, though. It is based on crime drama, I guess, death row inmate. But oh man, their performances are so good in that. And then with Nicole Kidman, did you have any other
No, I
ones?
feel like I have to add so many of these to my list.
Okay, because I know we have one coming that we just talked about
Yes.
right
Yes.
before we press record, and it's called Baby Girl. And I believe it's going to come out in December or
I
November,
saw that too,
December.
and I was like, of course there's another one.
This one, though, I think it's going to be really steamy. She's a high powered CEO and she puts her career on the line because I believe she has an affair, a torrid affair with this much younger intern.
I mean, this age difference might be dramatic, but with that said, I am more intrigued by this one than
Yeah.
like
I
the
also
other.
think this is a serious one, right? Where the other one we
Yes.
saw was a
Versus like
comedy.
rom-com, this is more,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
drama.
And the younger guy is Harrison Dixon. So I don't know who he is, but we'll find out, I'm sure, soon enough.
I know.
Oh my
We
gosh,
should
so I
look
can't
up
wait to
what else he's been in.
yeah.
He was in Triangle of Sadness, Beach Rats, The Iron Claw, Where the Crawdads Sing.
Wait, he was in both of those? Oh my gosh, he was in the Iron Claw?
Have you seen
That's
these?
I
I'm
love
reading
the
random
Iron
movie titles I
Claw.
don't even know.
And I love wait, you haven't seen Where the Crawdads Sing?
No, I knew Where the Crawdads Sing, but the other ones.
Oh, yeah, Iron Claw is so good. That's the one with Zac Efron as a wrestling family. It's such a good movie. Such a
Oh,
good movie.
yeah, I
Came out in
see Zac Efron
January.
on that too. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
adding that one to my list. But I also want to see in Baby Girl, how old is he supposed to be?
Oh, let's find out. Does it say?
It doesn't. It just calls him
Aw.
a much younger intern.
He's probably maybe he's early 20s or something.
I mean,
What is age?
hopefully, right?
What age is he in real life?
Hold on, I'll tell you. 28 in real life. So maybe he's playing like 22,
22?
25.
I know we both were like 22.
Meanwhile, last
Oh
night
my gosh.
I was out with a friend of mine. We were watching sports and this he was young, but like we thought he was probably like maybe 30. Turns
Yeah.
out he graduated from college in like 2021 and we were like, "Oh." And he just looked at us and he was like he goes to my friend, he goes, "Well, you're a cougar." And I was like, "Is that a compliment?"
I don't think
Like
so.
I don't know, but for what it's worth, you look older. So I don't know what that says about you. But
Yeah.
anyway, so now this 25-year-old is well, I'm making up that character is going to be 25, but
Yeah. We'll see. I'll be excited to see what happens. I don't know where it's going to be released because I don't know the way the scenes it makes it that it's very steamy. So I don't even know if it's going to be like widespread release or not. So
Oh.
I don't know.
Although I don't know, these days it's also like in real theaters for a minute or in select theaters and then to Netflix. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, I don't even know. Could it come on Netflix? Seems more like a HBO. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
interesting.
know. I don't know. That's
All
just
right, well,
me.
let's
I
see.
have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a couple of movies that I want to bring up because we
Okay.
are talking about this trend. So there's one going to be Lonely Planet with Laura Dern and Liam Hemsworth.
I'm in for that.
I know, right?
She's
I'm
amazing, by
loving.
the
She
way.
is amazing. Woo, gives me chills. I can't wait. So it's a novelist heads to a creative retreat in Morocco, hoping to cure her writer's block. Instead, she finds an electric connection with a younger man. So,
I feel like we've seen that plot like the other way around, where like the man goes to write his book somewhere in the middle of
yeah,
nowhere, and then there's the young woman
yeah.
that he like. Anyway.
And so another one is I Want Your Sex with Olivia Wilde and Cooper Hoffman. So she is an artist and sucks Elliot into her orbit as her sexual muse, per the official synopsis. Wow, okay. Soon their relationship spirals out of control. Expect sex, power, and even murder.
Ooh. Sounds like Nicole Kidman's supposed to be in that one.
I know, right?
Seriously, these days it's like, is there a murder? Do you get to be married to somebody
I know,
incredibly attractive?
exactly.
Like,
Exactly. You're right. They're like, oh no,
was
she's
it
busy.
based on a book?
Let's,
Right, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Let's go to the next person on the list.
Right.
All right. And so another one is Wicker with Olivia Colman and Dev Patel, about
Oh.
a fisherwoman who commissions a wicker husband after being fed up with her neighbors. What?
Can I
That
ask a
sounds
what's
so
a wicker
interesting.
husband?
I don't know. I don't know.
And
Well, it must
why
have to
after
do with
being
the
fed up the
fisherwoman.
neighbors?
I don't know. I don't know. I
Okay.
got it
Can
off.
the makers of Wicker please give us a
Oh, it's called Wicker, right? So commissions a wicker husband.
yeah, but
Yeah,
like, am I
what?
supposed to know what this like? Forgive me if I am being offensive that I don't know what this is. And can the makers of this movie give us a synopsis that we understand?
Yeah. So it says she's a fisher woman. So maybe wicker has to do with
Fishing?
what they trap the fish with somehow, or make, I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, but let's be more
Okay.
excited that it's Olivia Colman and Dev Patel.
I love
Okay,
Dev
because
Patel.
yeah,
I think he's so good.
yeah, she's a great
All of these,
actress.
the
So it'll be
cast,
interesting.
the casting in all of these has me very entertained and intrigued.
Yes, it does.
Like,
All
I'm
right.
into it.
Yeah. So it'll be exciting to see those. And I'm sure I'll be texting you and say, did you see this? It's coming out.
Right.
Did you watch it?
Right.
Yeah,
We'll have
right.
to be back. We'll do this again.
Yeah. All right. So, in talking about Nicole Kidman and her dominance in Hollywood, let's talk about The Perfect Couple and
Yeah.
how she has managed to stay relevant and diverse.
The diverse piece, I think her body of work over a lifetime is diverse.
Yeah.
But I'm
That's what
not
I
going to
mean.
lie. I sort of feel like right now she's playing the same character in a lot of these movies. And I say that with
True.
love. I still love her. But
Yeah.
like, it's more or less a very similar character between like Big Little Lies and this one.
Yes.
Like a lot of these are interchangeable. Like the storylines are different, but you could
Yes.
plop the characters around and it would still sort of work.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what did you think about The Perfect Couple? There's a
I
lot of
liked
people who
it.
love this.
So I read the book. I forgot I had read the book, started watching it, and I was like, have I seen this before? But then I also, much aligned with the fact that I forgot I read it, I forgot the details of it or like what ended up
Yeah.
happening in the end. So I was still able to enjoy it as I was watching it and the mystery unfolding. I liked it. I thought it was so entertaining. I also love the rest of this cast
Yeah.
that made it really fun. Like Dakota Fanning, what?
I know.
All grown up. And what's her face? I can't think of her name, who was
Oh,
also
the
in the Bold
one,
Type.
oh, I thought you were going to
The one who
say
played
the
the
main lead,
maid of honor.
Fahey.
Yeah.
She was in Lotus, White Lotus.
Yes. Thank you. Also in White Lotus and Bold Type. And then,
What's Bold Type?
oh, so fun. It's about 3 best friends working in New York at, like, this magazine, and they're sort of there's a May-December romance in that one too.
Oh, so that's a
Um,
series.
it's a series, yeah. It's a fun
Very
like, if you feel like you have nothing to watch, it's a fun one to get into and sort of binge the whole series, all the seasons.
Megan Fahey is
Yes,
who
yes. It's
she's
like a younger Sex and the City kind of a
mm,
thing, but they work together. It's a little Emily in Paris-esque
ah,
to
okay.
some degree, kind of. But
Yeah.
if you like those things, you'll like the bold type.
Yeah. So in The Perfect Couple, I thought it was a fun watch. I know, like I said, so many people loved it. Just a lot of people coming out of the woodworks. This is even currently, recently, even though
Yeah.
we watched it whatever a few weeks back, and people are like, "This is so good." But I think it's because it didn't take itself too seriously. Because at
Right.
first, when I was watching it, uh, I thought it was okay, but I realized it was funny. It was supposed to be funny, right?
Yes.
I
It
mean,
was very
even though,
funny.
yeah, there was a murder happening, and then so I think the fact that it's comical in a way. I mean,
Yes.
it's not like laugh out loud hysterical. So if you haven't watched it, it's not that. It's just
I think
a
I
murder
laughed out loud at
happens.
certain
Yeah,
times, but I was
yeah,
also like
yeah.
by myself. But it's very entertaining. And also, like, there's all these things going around on social media about the song that's the intro
Oh
to it.
yes,
Because in the
yes.
first episode, you're like, this feels really out of place. And by the end, you're like dancing along with the song as it goes. Like, it's too
Yes.
fun. Yeah.
Yes. That's so funny. Yes,
Yeah.
it did become that whole beginning. And it was funny because sometimes my son and his girlfriend would sit there and watch it. I don't know if they walked in passing or sat down to watch it, whatever it was. And I bypassed the beginning. And they're like, "Why did you bypass that? We wanted to see that part." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't realize this was a thing." But
Yeah. It
anyway,
became a
so
thing for sure.
yeah, it became a thing. So I think that that's why that movie ended up being. And Nicole Kidman's role when she was first in it, because Lee Schreiber is in it, plays her
Yeah.
husband. But at first, I thought, oh, this is the typical thing that you always kind of play. And I didn't really like her role until it got closer
Oh,
to the ending and it
yes.
is revealed more about her. Then she became like more real because it wasn't.
Yes.
I just felt like, okay, you're hiding something, and that is exposed. So,
Well, and I also like there's one point where she just sort of lets Liev Schreiber like have it, right? Which was
yeah,
awesome. And it's when you see a woman say the things that, you want to say but rarely do, right? That was
yeah,
awesome. But I'm not going to lie. It's sort of like, okay, it's the same character. There's a
yeah,
murder. There was a book.
right,
There's Nicole
right,
Kidman married to
yeah,
somebody gorgeous.
yes, yeah,
Like, here we go.
yeah.
These are the puzzle
Well,
pieces.
and I also want to bring up because I think you had said something earlier that made me think about it. I didn't bring it up then. These are the roles that are offered to her. These are the roles
Yes.
that she can do,
Yes.
and unfortunately, they all tend to be the same. And they're asking her, and she probably reads it. The script sounds good, but yeah, could it be different roles? I mean, more roles need to be written for women. And there are more roles being written for women, but it's just not enough yet. It's like we're heading there. It's just taking a long
Yeah.
time to get there.
For sure.
So
For sure.
yeah, and she plays, I mean, she's so, she's gorgeous, she's sexy, she plays that role. But you can only play that role so much. You can
Well,
only
I mean,
be
listen, there's even
yeah,
things that she's in right now. Like, I think you and I both watched Expats. What's the
yeah,
Expats and whatchamacallit, Lioness?
yeah.
There's a
Special ops
Special Ops
lioness.
Lioness.
Yeah.
She's a very different character in that one
Yes.
that is amazing. That's the thing, is that she is in her body of work so incredibly talented and has played all these this range of characters. But right now, in the world of the rom-coms, the book to movie, book to series situations, you're right. Those are the roles.
Yeah. So expats, I actually was not. the biggest fan of that. I watched the whole thing. I thought it was slow.
It was slow.
I actually felt like, oh, Nicole Kidman's playing this role again
Yeah.
about the, I know it had to do with the loss of a child, but there was just something that just felt familiar about her in this, like she had done this before or been this type of role. So I don't know. I thought that was okay. Like I probably wouldn't recommend expats to other people. I wouldn't say, oh, you got to go watch this. It would just,
That's
I thought it
fair.
was, I thought I watched it. I was fine with it. It was just kind of somber. And I just thought it was okay.
But it did
But
make me kind
go
of
ahead.
want to go live in Asia.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. And well, I don't want to give anything away, but I would say I understand her decision in it. I really do. And
Yes.
it was
Yes.
hard, but it's difficult to lose a child. So it did make me think about that. This series did make me think. So
Yeah.
I'll give it that. But loved Special Ops Lioness. Of course, she is not the lead in this. Zoe Saldana is the lead in it. She's
Yeah.
amazing in it. But Nicole Kidman is also in it. So
Yeah.
that's a great one. And
That one I
also,
would say to people, if you haven't watched
yes,
and you get, isn't
yes.
it Showtime? I think it's I think
Oh,
it's on
Apple
Showtime.
TV. Wasn't it Apple TV? No, I don't know, to tell you the truth.
Whatever. If you
Let's
can
see.
find it and you get access to it, that one I actually do highly recommend watching.
Yeah, it's Paramount Plus that it's on because I do get that one. And it shows here free if you have Paramount Plus. But isn't Showtime
Whatever.
bought by Paramount
Yeah,
Plus?
maybe right. I think they merged. So
So
that
that
actually
could be
makes sense.
why.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
I pay
So
for
it,
Showtime, I got it. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, but we want to give people
Yeah.
the place
Yeah.
to see it if we're talking about it.
Yeah, of
So
course. So
pardon
if
us
you have
for,
access to that one, definitely worth watching.
yeah.
Yeah. And what was the one
Okay.
on Showtime with Claire Danes where she's like CIA? It was so good. It was on for years.
I don't get
Oh,
Showtime.
yeah. But now you could probably watch it on Paramount.
I probably could. And you're right. I do know that there's one with Claire Danes, and I don't know the name of it.
Homeland. So if you
Ah.
liked Homeland, you will like Special Ops Lioness.
And it's Tyler Sheridan
Yeah.
created. That's
Yeah.
what made me watch it, actually, because I like all the things that he produces. So, or
Yeah.
most of the things that he produces. So,
Yeah.
all right. So let's talk about Nine Perfect Strangers.
Another book that I read before I watched the. I felt like that was better as a book, but I still liked it.
I thought it was okay. Here's another one. I just thought it was okay. I wasn't, it was all right. And I
Yeah.
really wanted to watch it because I really like Melissa McCarthy.
Was she in it?
Oh my gosh, we're so bad. We're all fact checking afterwards.
Grace Van Patten, Samara Weaving, Nicole Kidman, Annie Murphy, Melissa McCarthy, Regina Hall. Yeah, that was just the women who were in. There's also Asher Ketty and Tiffany Boone.
Well, I wanted to make sure I said her name right. For some reason, when I said Melissa McCarthy, the name didn't roll off my tongue as easily
Yeah.
as I was thinking. So anyway, I thought it was very watchable, but it wasn't my favorite. Like, I don't want to see it again. Here goes
Yeah.
another one. There are a lot of movies that Nicole Kidman makes that I want to see again. That wasn't one of
That
them.
not it. Yeah.
Now, The Undoing with Hugh Grant. I like this one.
I don't know if I saw this one.
This is the one where he is on trial because he's having an affair, and the woman he's having an affair with is dead. And I think it starts that way. And it's called The Undoing, and it's really good. I
Now that
like
you
it.
say that, it's ringing a bell. So maybe I did see it.
Yeah. It's about the trial and about
Yeah.
her.
And then they do flashbacks, right?
I believe so. She has a son, and it's like she goes through different emotions if she should stay with him, if she should. You're like, did he do it? Did she do it? Did the son do it? Did somebody else do it? What's happening? So it was one. I love movies that keep you guessing about who the murderer was, or who
Yeah.
had their hand in something that they shouldn't have. All while dealing with this marriage and an affair and what happened. So I thought that one was pretty good. And then, of course, Big Little Lies. We've mentioned it
Yeah.
several times, and it's such a good series with all these strong women in it.
Laura
I
Dern in that one too?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know. That was such a good one.
Okay, so any other Nicole Kidman movies that come to mind for you?
I mean, I also always think of like Moulin Rouge, Eyes Wide Shut, like back in the day when
Yes.
she was married to
Yeah,
Tom Cruise, like all of the like she's done so much.
yeah,
It's really it's amazing to look at.
yeah. I actually liked Eyes Wide Shut. I remember when that came out and people
It was so
weren't,
controversial.
yeah, people weren't really loving it. I remember, I haven't seen it again since then, but I remember liking the movie. And I just thought it was good.
Yeah.
And they were both in it. So, and I also really liked Cold Mountain. Thought that one was really a good movie. And Moulin Rouge, I haven't revisited in a long time, so I might have to do a rewatch.
I mean, I saw it on Broadway, which made
Oh, you
me
did?
think of the movie again, you know.
How was
But
it? How was it on Broadway?
it's good. It's a fun show. If you're looking, it's not exactly the same as the movie. So if you're like a diehard Moulin Rouge movie fan, it's not exactly the same. But I think it's a really fun show. The music is great. You know, they've even updated some of the music a lot. So it was fun. I mean, I saw it a long time ago, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah. All right. So we've talked a lot about Nicole Kidman movies. So I think we can revisit our question of the day, which is what is your favorite Nicole Kidman movie or TV series? So what is it, Jen?
Okay. I don't know that it's totally my favorite of all time, but it's the one that came to mind when you said this because we've also been talking about how sometimes she plays the same character. So you know it's her, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what was one of her movies where I totally forgot it was her? And that was The Hours. Do you remember that?
I
It's
don't
so
know that
old.
I watched it. To be perfectly honest, I don't know if I watched it.
It's old and it's long,
Doesn't
but
she
it was
portray a,
yes. Yeah, they're all these like literary women. Hold on, I'm
yeah,
going back through.
I may have watched it and forgotten what, what it
So,
was about.
the official synopsis says The Hours is a story of three women searching for more potent, meaningful lives. Each is alive at a different time and place. All are linked by their yearnings and their fears. Their stories
Mm.
intertwine and finally come together in a surprising, transcendent moment of shared recognition.
Ooh, ooh. Okay, see, that makes me want to tune in, even though I haven't seen it. Or I think I haven't seen it.
I'm trying to think of. Apparently, it's going to be on TV soon, according to my quick research here. But again, it was just one I forgot it was Nicole Kidman playing this role, and so that's why it stands out to me.
Yeah, which is amazing because I looked it up and her face looks different because I think she had
She
prosthetics
did.
when
They
she
did a
did this movie.
prosthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But I think it was also
inter-
probably before a lot of filler and Botox and some other things that have happened
yeah,
since that movie came
yeah,
out.
yeah. I get that movie mixed up with the others. I don't know why. The title, for some reason, the what's it called? The Hours?
Mhm.
The Hours and the Others. I don't know. My brain, it just feels almost like the same title of a movie. So I realize now that they're two separate movies because one is where she, well, I don't want to give anything away, but it's a very, I liked that movie, The Others. It
Yeah.
was kind of a, I don't know what the right word is, kind of a creepy
It sounds like
period
creepy.
piece. Have you not seen it?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
you'll have to
Well,
check
next
that
on
one
the
out too.
list.
I think she received, didn't she receive some acclaim for that? It's a horror mystery and it got 84% Rotten Tomatoes. And it says Grace, a devoutly religious mother, moves her family to the English coast during World War II. She awaits word on her missing husband while protecting her children from a rare photosensitivity disease. that causes son to harm them. Anne claims she sees ghosts. It goes on from there. So you can kind of get the
Okay.
vibe of
I
what it
think I
is.
know why I
So
didn't see it.
I liked it. It was pretty
Okay.
good. It was pretty good. I mean,
All
it's
right.
not
If
my
you liked
favorite
it,
of
maybe I'll watch
hers.
it. All right.
It's not my favorite of hers, but I mean, if you want to watch something spooky, but that's not terribly, terribly spooky, then you could
Yeah.
check it out.
But what is your
But
favorite?
okay. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Whoa. Okay. So we've talked about them both. One, the show is Big Little Lies. Love it so much. Like if it's on, I'm like, we gotta see it. I love it, love it, love it so much. And for movies, I really had a hard time thinking about this, but I'm like, what movie really has me with really great thoughts? What makes me want to watch it again? And that's Paperboy, because she played also a different type of person. It wasn't the typical
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman role. She played this vixen, and yes, that sounds like it, but if you haven't seen it, it's a different. She has an accent. She acts differently. She's more gruff, rough. She's not like all like sexy vixen. She's just more like forceful and like unapologetically that
Yeah.
personality that she is. And so she's trying to free John Cusack, who's the inmate. So she's like one of these people that, it's like love lock. What is it? Love after lockup,
Oh, right. Yeah.
basically. Yeah. So I really enjoy that movie, and I do love her and Zac Efron. Their chemistry in it. Something drew me in to watching those two. So anyway, friends out there, what is your favorite Nicole Kidman movie? Make sure you tell us because we would love to know. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about Nicole Kidman or May December romances before we wrap this
No, but I
section
just
up?
think it's interesting that as you're talking about sort of the roles that are available to women, here
Mm-hmm.
we are, this is almost just one more archetype of the older woman that I guess shows some complexities of time of life, but also feels very much like one of the handful of options.
Yeah. I sorry, two things went through my head when you were saying that. One, I'm glad that these other movies that I talked about earlier are coming out to show
Yeah.
women who are not super youthful, but are their age,
Yep.
and we want to see real movies with that. I'm sorry, this is a big, big, big sidetrack. Did you watch The Substance
No.
with Demi Moore?
No.
So I just watched it. It's a horror. It's a body horror movie. But the only reason I bring it up is it's made by a French filmmaker, a woman, and it got the film festivals. It got like major like rave reviews. So I went and watched it. It's very disturbing because it is a horror, and I'm going to tell you, the last 15 minutes is extremely bizarre, crazy, hit you over the head, and a lot of people don't like that
Right.
part of it. But the 75% of it is all about what Demi Moore is willing to do to regain that youth,
Mm.
and it's the substance. That's why it's called the substance, and it's crazy, but it also is putting out there with what women have to do with aging, especially in Hollywood, what they have to do to feel accepted, loved, worthy, any of that.
Yeah.
So it's so, in speaking about this, it made
Interesting.
me think
Yeah.
about that. But I also wanted to say I do follow Hello Sunshine, which is Reese Witherspoon's
Production company.
production company. So I'm always watching that to see what she's promoting
Yeah.
because I'm always supporting and loving and watching all of any of those things that come out. So yeah, just I love that she's taking, women writers and producing films, TV, whatever it might be, shows that we can watch that portray women. So,
Excellent.
okay, that's our wrap up of those May December romances and Nicole Kidman. But we aren't finished yet. We have some TV and movie recommendations for you. So, Jen, I would like to know what you're currently watching and what you recommend.
All right. So a few. Well, so Love is Blind had another new season this fall. If you have not watched Love is Blind UK, that came out over the summer, highly, highly, highly recommend. All of the people who are on it are a little bit older. Like, I think the youngest is like 30. And so it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
and very interested. So if you're into Love is Blind and those kinds of things, highly recommend Love is Blind UK. If you haven't, catch up on Nobody Wants This because they're getting a season 2. So that's the one with Kristen Bell and Adam
Adam
Brody.
Brody. Yeah.
Yeah. Shrinking came back again for another season. That one's on Apple. I love this show. This one is like a laugh out loud. You love and
Yeah.
you are rooting for every character.
Yeah.
And Monsters, if you haven't watched it
I
yet.
don't.
Okay, so
What's it about?
Monsters, the Menendez brothers. I'm
Oh.
like the name is on the tip of my tongue.
Okay. I know what that one
So
is. Yeah.
Monsters is about the Menendez brothers, and remember, like they killed their
Yeah.
parents,
Yeah.
but it's a slightly different take. There was one that came out a couple years ago, also on Netflix, that I watched, and so it's interesting to see both of these
Hmm.
like dramatic interpretations
Hmm.
of
Yeah.
the same story, and how they
Yeah.
do it differently. So whether you've watched Monsters or not, I also recommend the other one and then, compare them both.
Yeah.
And I'm much more of a
Awesome.
TV person than a movie person. So, but I am excited. Wicked is coming
Oh,
out as a movie
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
over Thanksgiving, I think it's coming out. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, is it Thanksgiving? I knew it was during holiday season, but I wasn't sure like exactly when. I'm so excited to watch that. The trailers for it look amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So very, very excited. So I want to talk about also on my list is Nobody Wants This with Kristen Bell and Adam Brody. So it feels different. And what I love about this, they're not young people.
Right.
They're in their 40s, I guess, early 40s. I'm not even sure what age they're portraying, but it's great. It's great to see them. I really liked it. So I thought it was a great series. So check that out. That's on Netflix. I Love is Blind UK. I watched it this summer. I was so excited. I agree. Jen and I had both talked about, we've done episodes on reality TV series. We've talked about all kinds. And we've talked about, we just need them to be a little bit older than like
Yeah.
22 or 24. And because, they come on, they're like, oh, I've been waiting my whole life to meet
Right.
somebody. I'm like, you're 22. You're 24. What do you mean your whole life? Yes, you all your whole life, but it hasn't been that long. And so we kind of wanted the age pushed up just a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot more, but so 30s is great. It's a great age. So, and Love is Blind UK, I just love the couples, and I thought it was great. There has been a season of regular Love is Blind that was just forgettable. I can't even remember which season that was.
Well, there's
But
a
the
new
fact that
one.
season 7 is out
Yeah.
now. So, and I've been watching it, so I haven't finished it yet. So,
Me either. I'm not done yet. So,
yeah,
no spoilers.
yeah, exactly. No spoilers there. And we didn't even talk about Selling Sunset, which is
Oh my god. Yeah, that too. I watched it and
so good.
I watched it so quickly.
Wow, we didn't talk about it. I
I
can't
know
believe
that's
it.
opening a
Selling
can of worms right
Sunset.
now at the end of an episode. I don't know that we can talk about it right now.
I know, but it's it's highly entertaining and crazy stuff is happening. It's not even about selling property. It's like
No, right.
it's all the gossip in the office. So it's funny how each season takes a shift as to
Yes.
what the concentration is, you know? So I don't know. We'll see. We are enjoying that. And okay, back to TV movies. Tell Me Lies. Have you seen this on Hulu?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I have mixed feelings about Tell Me Lies.
Yeah.
I'm a couple episodes behind, so I will say that. But I enjoy it, but I'm also watching it just because I want to know what happens, but I don't actually like or care about any of the characters. Which is a very weird thing. Like, why?
Yes.
Like, I'm invested because I
Yes.
want to know the answers, but
Yes.
I don't know that I care what the answers are.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Yeah.
weird.
It's funny because in the first season, the main couple I was like mad at them, like so
And
mad at them. I'm
I
like,
know.
oh, you guys are both so manipulative. How is this on you? But why am I watching it? And here I am, season 2. I'm watching it, and so it again, it's these young people in college and just toxic relationships and choices and what they do and go through. So, but I have to watch it. I'm like, what's happening? What's going to happen
Right.
with
Like
these
I need to
people?
know the
So,
answers to all the
yeah,
questions that they've created,
yeah,
but I don't really care about any of the characters,
yeah.
you know. But
So they're on Hulu, but
yeah.
we're watching. We are liking it.
Did
So
you watch Sex Lives of College Girls?
I only watched half of the first season or 3/4 of the first season. I think I didn't
Oh,
watch
that one was good.
anymore.
That one takes like the same thing, but turns it into like fun and funny and sort of
Yeah,
relatable
yeah,
compared to, you know, Tell Me Lies. But
yeah.
for what it's worth, there's one more.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, those are our recommendations for you. Jen, I'm so glad that you joined me today. It was wonderful having you. Please tell everyone about yourself and your podcast.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Well, first of all, I love chatting TV with you and movies. I am Jenn Trepic. My podcast is Salad with a Side of Fries. So we call it Wellness Without the Weirdness. So wherever you like to listen to podcasts, you can find us there. Just search Salad with a Side of Fries. And all social media, I am at Jenn Trepic, JENNTREPECK. Website's asaladwithasideoffries.com. I'm a health coach. So, find me anywhere, send a message. I love connecting with everybody.
Yeah, look at her t-shirt if you
Oh,
can
yeah.
see it. I don't know if you can see it.
There we go.
Very cool. I love it. And I have my bag that I use,
Yeah.
so thank you. Thank you for my
Thanks. Yeah.
merch. Or, you know, go buy Jen's merch, okay?
Yeah.
So I love it. I use it. So it's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Her podcast is amazing. Jen is amazing. I love her. That's why she's here.
You're the best.
And I love talking TV and movies with you. So again, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, friends out there, thank you so much for joining us today. We are so grateful you joined us. We hope something we said today resonated with you, gave you a smile, a chuckle, or some inspiration. Remember to subscribe to screensinfocus.com and please share this podcast with a friend. We would love that. All of the links are in our show notes to Jenn and to Screens in Focus. So please reach out to us and remember to keep watching, keep exploring, and keep those screens in focus. And we will see you next time. Bye.